Hey guys, what's going on? Thought I'd do an update video on LuxAlgo. So I've been very busy doing other strategies such as theta traders, futures selling strategies, and I've not been doing that much day trading at all, so I've really been neglecting this strategy which I devised on SPY. So if you want to learn that, I've put like a link in the description below. You can come here and get the guide about how I was able to do a 78% win rate on SPY trades just using LuxAlgo indicators. So it's a really good strategy, really easy to do. It just takes time. You have to be able to be at your computer, use the 5-minute and the 1-minute charts, which is something that recently I've been having more and more difficulty doing. So hopefully you guys will find this strategy useful. Definitely sign up for it if you don't have LuxAlgo. You can also get LuxAlgo through my affiliate link, which is in the description below. And if you use that link and the code STA30, I'll also put that in there so you guys can see it, you can get 30% off your first subscription billing period. And so this works out to be about $100 for 3 months, which is a fantastic bargain in my opinion for such a powerful system that you can basically calibrate and basically make your own. So you can just sort of choose the particular indicators that you like and the confluences that you like and build up from there. And I think it's really cool. So I'm still a huge fan of LuxAlgo, I just haven't been day trading using it at all really. But I noticed that they'd done an update on the smart money flow of the oscillators part of it. So in LuxAlgo they have the main overlays. Let's have a look here. They have the main overlays which go on the price charts. I've not got them marked right now, but those will be buy and sell indicators that you guys have probably seen in other videos and so forth. But what's actually pretty interesting is they updated their oscillator stuff here, and now it's called LuxAlgo Oscillator Matrix. Sounds really cool, right? lots of powerful matrixy type stuff to it, which is awesome. And I thought it'd be interesting to do an update video on these oscillators, because I have a whole article on this on one of my blogs, but it's kind of redundant now because they've changed it all. So thought I'd start working my way through it and kind of go through it in a video like this one as well. Before I do that, I want to draw your attention to something that has been really working well for me in this market, which is how to win 90% of your trades in 90 seconds. It's a free course that lands from thetatraders.com, and I did, and it's definitely worth doing. Basically how to sell options, and it is fantastic. So it's very conservative. You don't lose any money when the market goes against you. You make quite a bit of money when things are working out. So I'm really excited about this style of trading. In fact, it's what I'm mainly doing now, which is a huge change for me. So if you want this guide, I'll leave a link in the description below and you can go and get it. It's probably a course that some people would charge $1,000 for, but you can get it for free at this link in the description below. Anyway, let's get started. So, the LuxAlgo new oscillators. There's a lot to this, and I'm not going to go through all in this video. I just want to go with the first, I would say probably my favorite part of it, which is this very simple wave that you see here. So you see this green wave up, and then red wave down, green wave up. So, the cool thing about this is it's very simple to do. So it's called smart money flow. It's about how much money is coming in and out of the market. So it's very simple. Here's the instructions from LuxAlgo that I've already gone through, but I thought I'd show you guys. Basically, it's market participants activity. So basically how many buyers are coming in, or is there more sellers? So obviously when it's green and going up, that's more buyers. When it's red and going down, that's more sellers, which is pretty useful in itself. But the really cool thing is the overflow. So let's have a quick look though on the charts a little bit here. So you can see that this green wave starts around here, and it starts to show that there's money coming into the market. There's buyers coming in strongly. It's going up. The price of the underlying is going up. This is SPY just on the 1 hour chart here. So you see this line right here. So this is like threshold. So when it breaks the threshold, that really shows that there's hungry buyers, that this market is likely to go up. And you can see it does really continue up quite strongly, quite quickly at that point. So this is the first thing that, you can look at, which is pretty useful, but, it's not always correct. For example, like right here, we see an increase up here, but we're not above the threshold. So this green line is the threshold. We are going up, but we're not above the threshold. They're not really hungry here. So the interesting part is the market trending sideways here is marked by the fact that we're not close to the threshold. So we're far beneath it here. And when it's far beneath it here like that, it indicates like a sideways market, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here until the buyers start stepping in again, and this is going up. Now, this is like all these indicators like RSI or EMAs or, you know, all this stuff. It sort of works and it sort of doesn't. What I think is quite powerful here is actually the overflow part of it. So you see this like weird shaded area right here. They don't all have them. So like this green wave here doesn't have one, nor this one or this one. This one does have this weird shaded area though. And that's what LuxAlgo is calling overflow. And overflow is when there's excessive liquidity relative to the trend length entering the market. And it says this can highlight late trend following participants entering the market and can announce potential reversals in price. So you see they've marked it here. So looking at this particular section right here, now the value here is not when it's going up. Who cares about that? It's when it drops off like this. And if you look at my cursor here, you can see when this steeply dropped off, that showed that buyers were basically, they were exhausted, like that was it. And then you saw this clear decline in price. See that? So it's basically when a reversal, and you can see it's marked this reversal really clearly. So you can use the overflow on the LuxAlgo oscillator to mark the top of a bullish run like this. And it's pretty good. Like you can see it really marks it pretty well there. And then in reverse with the bearish, you start to sell off and you start to see these sellers coming in, everything's going solid strong, but then it drops off. And you can see right here where we dropped off with the overflow and the bearish seller overflow dropped off back to the baseline here. We start to then get this bullish move up. Again, it worked a little bit here. You can see we had this sudden drop right here. And you got this sell right down to here. Now it didn't last very long this time, but you did get it. It was very clear, and it was a leading indicator. It happened before the drop. I think that's pretty powerful to use. Here's the thing though, it doesn't work every time, and that's the problem we always see, right? So you can see here again, it dropped, and you got a tiny sell, but then it immediately picked up again. It dropped again here. You can see this drop right here. And it didn't work. Like I mean, it sort of worked, right? Like it did indicate a reversal from the top. This one's actually not so bad. Let me try and move in here, try and make it more obvious. So you can see the overflow dropped, indicating a reversal. We did get a reversal. But here's the thing, it's like you're never sure how sustained that reversal is going to be. But it's like all of these things, you need to add it to your arsenal. If you like this idea, you can add it in as a potential confluence to other parts of your strategy. So it does work, but it doesn't work perfectly. So yeah, so it was interesting to see those kind of ones. We can look at some more. I don't want to cherry pick ones. That's the main thing, is I want to make sure you guys see with LuxAlgo what you're actually going to get. So this one worked brilliantly. Big steep drop off as soon as the overflow went down hard. Let's see what else we've got. Because I think that's the worst thing, is when people just cherry pick examples and then you're like, so you can see none of these have overflows, so I don't really care about what this wave is doing. It's more the overflows that interest me in particular. So the overflow here, it didn't really work. It dropped a couple of hours and then it was done, and it went back up against you. So if you decided to go short here, you wouldn't have got much of a move. Same with this little guy. Did drop, but not much. So there's always going to be these fake outs. Let's see what this one did. This is going to be interesting right here. Alright, so right here is when the overflow went to 0. So you can see right here, and we did get the sell-off, this nice strong sell-off. So you can see it happens more often than not. This one, the overflow and the bearish overflow, indicating the end of the seller's reign of terror, basically did end here, and then you got this really nice bull run all the way up from here. You can see all the way up. So pretty good. Pretty reliable overall. It's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Here's another one. So you got this bearish drop here, but again, it was only for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then it started to run again. So you definitely have to be careful. Nothing's a magic bullet. This one, pretty interesting. You had the bearish one here, indicating a reversal. But of course you had a little bit of bearish action even, and then a run all the way up, which was fantastic. So it's definitely something that might be interesting, but right off the bat, it's not like a magic bullet. This one again here, the bullish overflow decreased to 0, did indicate a sell-off all the way down to here. These are hourly charts, remember, so we're talking several hours of negative price action. So you can definitely get in on these, you know, pretty easily. Here's a big one. Let's see if this one worked. This one worked again. So it looks like to me on the hourly chart, you can count on maybe 2 or 3 hours minimum of price action in your favor. If you decide to short, for example, on this one, you would get a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours of short action, and then it'd be done. Overall, I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea of smart money flow and these oscillators. This is not the only part of the oscillator though, and in future videos I'm going to cover the rest of it. This is just the money flow part. It's not even the main part of it, it's just something I particularly like the idea of. I'll try and leave a link in the description where you can get this particular document. You can go through these. You don't need to be a subscriber to LuxAlgo to look through these different documents and things to see if you know, it's something that you might be interested in. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. We could look on like a different time frame really quick. So maybe you want to swing trade. Let's see how the swing trading on SPY would be using this LuxAlgo. So again, I'm not marking the actual charts with any of the indicators, and that's the main part, right? The overlays, the indicators. Just looking at this new oscillator, this LuxAlgo oscillator matrix system. So again, the first one I see here, this little system right here, which is the overflow, you can see it did indicate the start of an uptrend. Even if it was just kind of a short uptrend, it was definitely an uptrend. This one's pretty good. Like right here, you can see this overflow died away. This is where you'd indicate to go long because the bearish sellers have disappeared. And really, you did get like a nice trend. So it's like pretty good on these longer time frames. Let's have a look at the one right here. I'll try and zoom this out. So this is the bullish one. You can see this would have actually been a pretty good entry. You'd have had to suffer a little bit, a few candles of pain here over the few, you know, maybe a week or so. Then you really did get a sell-off that continued for a long time, which is pretty nice. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. I'll leave the links in the description for my LuxAlgo guide, the win 90% of your trades in 90 seconds, the LuxAlgo premium review that I've done, along with anything else that I think might be relevant for you guys to learn about, to make a decision whether you want to try out these LuxAlgo oscillator matrix systems or the overlays, which I've not shown on here again because I'm just trying to focus on the oscillator stuff at the moment. Hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.